Good morning. Right now on Weekend Wake Up, a series of weekend shootings have Buffalo police busy investigating. What we know about this scene and the man who was fatally shot, plus the action you're being urged to take if you have any information about what happened. And a call for help and a wish to end violence. Hear from families who have been ripped apart by gun violence in our community. And then the race for Attorney General is heating up. The Western New York face that's in the running. Find out why she says she's the woman for the job. Weekend Wake Up starts right here, right now.
Live in high definition, this is Western New York's news leader. Now, News 4's Weekend Wake Up.
Good morning, I'm Katie Alexander. Today is Sunday, June 3rd, and we have your top local headlines and everything you need to know for the weekend just ahead. But first, let's take a live look over downtown Buffalo. You can see another grayish morning shaping up out there. Looks like a little bit of sun about to peek out at us. I don't know that the sun's going to last forever, though. It doesn't sound like it's going to be perfect.
No.
Right, Kaylee?
Right. That's exactly right. Today, not a perfect. How much rain that means for you.
Kaylee, thank you. This morning, we're following developing news from Buffalo's Broadway-Fillmore neighborhood. Buffalo police tell News 4 that 5 people were shot on Strauss Street around 9:15 Saturday night. We're told the 5 who were shot were with several other people outside a home on Strauss between Genesee and Sycamore Streets when shots rang out. All 5 were taken to ECMC for treatment. Police have not released anyone's condition at this point. Anyone with any information is asked to call the confidential tip line at the number on your screen there. It's 847-2255. Meantime, Buffalo police are still investigating a series of shootings that happened late Friday night and early Saturday morning. The first happened around 9:45 Friday night in the Lovejoy neighborhood on Stanley Street near Bailey Avenue. We're told a 20-year-old Buffalo man was shot and killed. He was declared dead at the scene. The next shooting you saw first here on Weekend Wake Ups yesterday. Just before 2 o'clock Saturday morning, a 32-year-old Buffalo man was shot. This happened at the intersection of Albany and Herkimer Streets. He was taken to ECMC and underwent surgery. Police have not updated his condition this morning. We're still waiting to learn the names of both men from Saturday's shootings. Police are asking anyone with information about the incidents to call or text the confidential tip line. Again, that number on your screen there, 847-2255.
Stop the killings, guys, please.
Community members took to the streets on Buffalo's east side, hoping to fight back against violence in the city. Family members and community leaders are standing up and speaking out in an effort to bring awareness to many of the unsolved homicides that they say plague the city. Yesterday, they shared their stories of lost loved ones and asked those involved in the violence to come forward. News 4's Shannon Smith was at the rally and has more on their pleas for action.
Because I lost someone that was.
Shannon Smith, News 4.
Erie County Democrats have announced their endorsement for New York State Attorney General. During a press conference on Saturday, leaders said they believe Buffalo attorney Licia Eve is the right woman for the job. Eve has worked for and with many big names, including Governor Andrew Cuomo and then Senators Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden. Eve spoke at the conference saying that she was honored by the nomination and is more than ready to take on the job.
Now more than ever, in these perilous times, this state, our great state, needs an attorney general who will protect and defend and empower them. I am running as a proud daughter of Western New York, and I am running as the most experienced, most ready, most qualified person to be the next attorney general of our state.
Buffalo native and Republican Keith Wofford and Letitia James are also looking to replace former Attorney General Eric Schneiderman. He resigned after 4 women claimed he abused them while they were in relationships with him. Barbara Underwood was appointed as interim Attorney General and will finish out the rest of Schneiderman's term. One of Governor Andrew Cuomo's primary challengers is spending her weekend in the Queen City. On Saturday night, gubernatorial candidate Cynthia Nixon spoke at the Buffalo Grassroots Community Roundtable discussion. It was a way to spotlight issues that affect the community. Guests shared their concerns over topics like affordable housing, policing, and immigration. Nixon said these types of meetings are exactly what we need in New York today.
I think it's really important for us to stand up in New York as you all are doing, because we're at this moment in our country's history. It's a terrible moment, I think, but it's also a moment of tremendous opportunity if we treat it right.
News 4 reached out to Governor Cuomo's campaign team for a statement in response to Nixon. We haven't heard back yet. Still ahead on Weekend Wake Up, time is running out. How you can still get in on the great deals at a huge book sale that ends today. And girls on the run. How many young women are taking part in a huge 5K at UB? Today is the last day for Western New York book lovers to take advantage of a major bargain. It's the final day for the American Association of University Women's giant used book sale. Admission is free and all book sale proceeds will go toward money for scholarships. Readers will be able to get a whole grocery bag of reading material for just $5. The sale runs from 11 to 5 today inside the former Buffalo Athletic Club next to the Eastern Hills Mall on Transit Road. Get ready to run. Girls on the Run is hosting its annual 5K this morning. The University at Buffalo chapter of the activity-based youth program will host more than 1,400 girls from all 8 Western New York counties. The run kicks off at 9:30 at the arena parking lot by UB Stadium. You are, of course, encouraged to arrive early. The Pride Center of Western New York will be wrapping up a week of celebrations with a Pride Parade and Festival today. The parade will take over the Elmwood Strip from Forest to Allen starting at noon. The festival will begin at 1 at Canalside. Admission is $10 for anyone age 15 or older. Organizers are encouraging attendees to take public transportation to and from the events and be prepared for heavy traffic delays. Coming up at 7:20 this morning, we'll sit down with one of the event organizers to talk more about what the celebrations mean to so many here in Western New York. Kaylee's work week weather is still ahead on Weekend Wake Up, and in sports, the Sabres have their eyes trained on Rasmus Dahlin. When we come back, we'll hear as he weighs in on what he thought of the scouting combine. Welcome back. It turned out to be a beautiful day around much of Western New York on Saturday. This photo from Cheryl shows us some of the fun that was being had last night at Darien Lake. Of course, we always love these photos from you guys, so feel free to share your view of Western New York with us by emailing reportit@WIVB.com. The time now is 6:15, and we are looking at the 198. Again, shaping up to be a pretty good morning, a cloudy one. It doesn't sound like it's going to be that great for that long. Kaylee?
It's not going to be great for that long today, but it's back near 80 degrees by next weekend.
Thank you, Kaylee. From bench press to Wingate, jumping and pull-ups, the NHL Combine will put you through your paces. News 4's Jenna Harner breaks down the action from Harbor Center in your Wake Up Sports.
Yesterday was the day at Wake Up Sports.
A local baseball team is honoring the life and legacy of a former Channel 4 reporter in a special way. The Niagara Power kicked off their home opener at Sal Magley Stadium in Niagara Falls. On Saturday, the team dedicated the press box in memory of Doug Smith. Smith died last April. He was a gifted journalist who used his talents to write about the game he loved so much, baseball. Smith spent his summers as an announcer in the very press box being named after him, calling games for the Power League.
To see his name up there in big print like that, I only wish that he could be here to see it himself. He would be so thrilled.
Yeah, he really would.
Yeah, it would validate so much of what he did in his life.
Smith was inducted into the Western New York Baseball Hall of Fame in 2016. Still ahead, Rosie the Riveter is taking over the waterfront. The world record attempt these women and men were going for this weekend, and the real-life Rosie honored at the event. You know her message, we can do it. That was the hope for hundreds of Western New Yorkers who came together for a Rosie the Riveter 5K in Buffalo yesterday. They were all trying to work their way into the record books. With long blue pants, blue shirts. Good morning. Right now on Weekend Wake Up, a late-night shooting sends 5 people to the hospital. What was happening when they were shot, plus the details that Buffalo police are releasing this morning. Then a bad accident in Niagara Falls, where this car went off the road and how many people were reportedly hurt. And a glittering gala pays tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. We take you inside the policeman's ball at the Buffalo Niagara Convention Center. All that and more coming up on Weekend Wake Up.
Live in high definition, this is Western New York's news leader. Now, News 4's Weekend Wake Up.
Good morning, I'm Katie Alexander. Today is Sunday, June 3rd, and we are taking a live look at Route 5 at Furman Boulevard. You can see it's quiet out there. We know, of course, those lane restrictions are still in effect with all of the construction happening. We can also see that there's not a ton of sunshine to talk about, sort of trying to peek out from behind the clouds, but I think it's going to lose today.
Yeah, the battle over the sun and the clouds today, it looks like the clouds will probably win over it.
Thanks, Kaylee. Carry the weekend forecast in your pocket with the Forewarn weather app. You can see the 7-day outlook in a couple of taps. Download it for your Apple or Android device right now. This morning, we're following developing news from Buffalo's Broadway Fillmore neighborhood. Buffalo police tell News 4 5 people were shot on Strauss Street around 9:15 Saturday night. We're told the 5 who were shot were with several other people outside a home on Strauss between Genesee and Sycamore Streets when shots rang out. All 5 were taken to ECMC for treatment. Police have not told us how any of them are doing now. Anyone with any information is asked to call the confidential tip call line number that's on your screen, 847-2255. New on Wake Up, a Cheektowaga man has died after an ATV accident in Cattaraugus County. Sheriff's deputies say 35-year-old Robert Geddes was killed just after 6:15 Saturday evening. He'd been riding an ATV on Bone Run Road in the town of South Valley when he lost control and struck a guardrail. The accident is still under investigation. Also new on Wake Up this morning, The Action is reporting that 2 people had to be taken to a local hospital after this serious car accident in Niagara Falls. We're told the driver of the car lost control and slammed into a tree on 15th Street near Michigan Avenue around 11:30 last night. At this point, other details remain limited. We will follow up with Niagara Falls Police today and bring you the latest when we learn more. Buffalo police are still investigating a series of shootings that occurred late Friday night and early Saturday morning. The first happened around 9:45 Friday night in the Lovejoy neighborhood on Stanley Street near Bailey Avenue. We're told a 20-year-old Buffalo man was shot and killed. He was declared dead at the scene. The next shooting you saw first here on Weekend Wake Up yesterday. Just before 2 o'clock Saturday morning, a 32-year-old Buffalo man was shot. This happened at the intersection of Albany and Herkimer Streets. He was taken to ECMC and underwent surgery. Police have not updated his condition this morning. We're still waiting to learn the names of both men who were shot. Police are asking anyone with any information, again, to call the confidential tip line 847-2255. Cheektowaga police are warning residents of a scam in our area. They say a group of people are going door to door as utility workers. They'll try to steal from you if you let them inside. The suspects say they work with the water company and tell residents they need to check water pressure. Several of these incidents have been reported in a neighborhood just south of St. John's Hospital. Police are asking anyone with information or security footage to call them at 686-3510. Cheektowaga officials also want to remind residents, don't let anyone in your home without proper ID. In Hawaii, molten lava continues to destroy more homes and upset lives on the Big Island. Police have been ordered to arrest people who refuse to evacuate. Already thousands have been forced to flee to safety, and relentless volcanic activity has hurt one of the big businesses on the Big Island, tourism. Carter Evans is in Pahoa with more.
Carter Evans, CBS News, the Big Island of Hawaii.
The man who's accused of being one of the most notorious killers in California history was in court to face a slew of decades-old charges. Joseph D'Angelo was in court Saturday. He entered a not guilty plea to at least a dozen murders and more than 50 attacks and sexual assaults. Heavily redacted court documents now show that police were able to catch him using DNA from an old crime scene and a tissue he discarded recently in his trash. We know investigators searched his home and found additional evidence, but a judge is not letting that evidence be released, saying it would make it impossible for D'Angelo to receive a fair trial. Across the nation, people wore orange and rallied in support of ending gun violence. Marches took place in New York City, San Francisco, and many other cities, each filled with signs, speeches, and calls to action. Many of the events were organized by young community leaders. Here in Buffalo, City Hall and many other buildings were lit up orange in support of the movement. The USS Jason Dunham left Hampton Roads, Virginia Saturday morning. The guided missile destroyer is headed to the Persian Gulf and Mediterranean Sea for a regularly scheduled deployment. The ship is named after local Marine Corporal Jason L. Dunham, killed in Iraq in 2004. Family and friends were on the pier as the ship got ready to leave. They were joining the Harry S. Truman Strike Group, which departed in April. Back here at home, a glittering night inside the Buffalo Niagara Convention Center honored officers killed in the line of duty. Hundreds came out for the annual Policeman's Ball. It's the largest fundraiser for the Badge of Honor Association. This year, the group honored several fallen officers in Western New York, including Officer Craig Lehner. The association also supports families affected by this loss. A lot more to get to here on Weekend Wake Up, including skating, not hating. See how hundreds of people are finding new creative outlets in the Queen City. Plus, buckle up and get ready to ride. We take you across the border for some fun speed racing. Happening in Buffalo, neighbors are using their love for skating to help keep kids off the streets. Hundreds came out to MLK Park for Skate, Don't Hate on Saturday. It's put on by Women Against Violence Everywhere. The group works to prevent crime in the city. The goal is to give kids a positive outlet to meet new people and stay out of trouble.
We skated all our lives, most of us, and that we know we were like at skating like daytime, nights, and we had sleepovers in skating, and that kept us off the streets. So I think that's what one of the things our young people is missing, something to do.
The group also provides mentoring for at-risk kids. Mario Kart fans or those with the need for speed, check this out. A new race course sure to spark some friendly competition is now open in Niagara Falls, Canada. Our own Kaylee Went got to take one of the karts for a spin and find out more about this unique new venue.
For today, Princess Peach, News 4.
You make a perfect Princess Peach. You're gonna win, right, Kaylee? Maybe not so win with the weather, though, right?
Right. I was saying that all day yesterday on the course. I'm gonna win. Anyway, this morning, like Katie mentioned, we are seeing the cloud cover sort of win out, and
so a little something for everyone and something for my garden, which you point out is a very good thing. It needs it.
It is.
All right, when we come back, there's no shortage of things to do in Western New York today. We'll tell you all about some events taking place, including a farmer's market that's offering much more than just your standard local veggies. Welcome back. A high-flying 80s classic begins production on a sequel, and a piece of Winnie the Pooh history is up for auction. Danielle Nottingham has your eye on entertainment. Step Out Buffalo will host its annual Pints and Pierogies Festival today at the outdoor rinks at Buffalo River Works. Each vendor will offer a smattering of dishes, with one at least one under $3, so you won't break the bank. Riverworks is also brewing a special Pussy Willow wheat beer to accompany today's activities. The festival runs from 11 to 6. Tickets are $10 and can be purchased online or at the door. It's time to get your greens. The South Buffalo Farmers Market will kick off its 5th season this morning. The weekly market features everything from local produce to yoga to food trucks, even live music. The market is open from 9 to 1. Yoga runs from 9:30 to 10:15, and live music gets going at 11. This all takes place each Sunday for the next 4 months at Cazenovia Park. The Faith United Presbyterian Church is hosting a Blessing of the Animals today. Pet owners are encouraged to bring their animals to the church at 10:30 for a special worship service. All animals are welcome, but you are asked to bring them on a leash or in a pet carrier. The church is located on Elmwood Avenue in Kenmore. Proceeds from the event will benefit Dog Tags of New York, a group that works to pair shelter animals with veterans. Stay with us. Kaylee brings us the Weekend Outlook when Weekend Wake Up returns. We all know that rubber duckies make bath time more fun, but in New Orleans, this flock left the tub for bluer pastures. Take a look at this. More than 5,000 rubber duckies were released into the lake at a local park for a rubber duck derby. Kids could adopt a duck and had the chance to win a whole slew of prizes ranging from $5,000 to a year's worth of chicken fingers. Okay. Money raised helped support a local food bank. Time now is 6:56, and that is the question of the morning. Would you rather have $5,000 or chicken fingers for a year?
I don't know. Those is a tough decision. $5,000 would be nice, but so would chicken fingers.
You could buy a lot of chicken fingers for $5,000.
I wonder how much it would equal out to. I don't know. That's a good question, but that gave me a laugh this morning. Didn't expect that one. Anyways, temperatures right now are sitting in the 60s. Thunderstorms as well. And unfortunately, the wet weather will stick around not only today, but all the way through Tuesday before we start to see some improvements.
Kaylee, thank you. Coming up in the next hour of Weekend Wake Up, Pride in the Queen City. We sit down with event organizers to find out more about today's parade and festival and what these events mean for so many here in Buffalo.